year, we celebrate and recognize our top students. At this time, we would like to congratulate our students of excellence and the recipients from Ogilvie High School. These students have demonstrated academic excellence throughout their educational careers. When I call your name, I would like this year's Students of Excellence to stand. Tutter Wallace, Hazel Myman, Kira Hoffman, and Rachel Mullen. Please give them a round of applause. At this time, we're also going to look at the other students that we honor. So the following students have received honor awards. This is quite an accomplishment, and we here at school are very proud of them. Congratulations to those seniors who received scholarships. They are mentioned in the insert in tonight's program. And now at this time, we do have another scholarship, and here to present the scholarship for East Central Energy Association is ECE Director Jerry Tweet. Student athlete is very challenging. Students are asked to juggle their academic responsibilities along with their athletic practice and scheduled events or games. Each year, Ogilvie High School selects the most outstanding individuals who have distinguished themselves in those areas. At this time, I am honored to present the Ogilvie Student Athlete of the Year Awards. So the 2021 Student Athlete of the Year for females is Olivia Sanborn. And next is our 2021 Male Student Athlete of the Year Award, and that goes to Ethan Warren.
We have a tradition at our Ogilvie schools, and that tradition is selecting an alumni award recipient. And this alumni award recipient, how it works is we ask for nominations from our community, from families, to let us know who they think we should be recognizing at our graduation ceremony. And then from the nominations that come in, the senior class officers meet with a school board member and the senior class advisor as well. And they look through all of the credentials and the nominations that have been sent in, and then they decide on a top two. And then the actual officers go to the class and they present their choices and they vote and select the actual person who we're honoring tonight. So what I'd like to share with you first is the nomination that the students actually reviewed before presenting to their class. Justin Lyles was nominated by Mike Bitz and selected by this class of 2021. Mr. Bitz's nomination that shared this information about Justin. Justin is a well-known meteorologist at WDIO News in the Duluth, Minnesota area. He is a funny man who will give the audience a good laugh. He is also very intelligent and will have good pointers for the graduates. Justin was a hard worker at Ogilvie High School, both in the classroom and in sports. I can't ever remember him embarrassing himself or the other people at Ogilvie High School. Justin Lyles, in my opinion, would be a perfect Alumni Award recipient and speaker for graduation. And then I asked also Justin to share some information that we could share to prepare you for his speech today. So Justin was a graduate in the Ogilvie Public Schools class of 1998. He attended St. Cloud State University and received a Bachelor of Science in Meteorology. His first job was in Sioux City, Iowa, and it involved chasing tornadoes. He's been the chief meteorologist in Duluth, Minnesota at the ABC affiliate WDIO for 14 years. Throughout his career, he's been an 8-time Emmy Award-winning meteorologist. He is the proud father of son Devin and 2 daughters, Nola and Natalie. And he is happily married to his wife, Sandy. Please join me in welcoming Justin Lyles to the podium.
Thank you. 97 degrees outside. Everybody's sweaty, uncomfortable, wants to get out of here. Let's bring a meteorologist in to give you guys a speech. What could possibly go wrong? Right? I already think this is the greatest graduation I've ever been to, even that includes mine. You played Star Wars. Hazel, loved your speech because something in your speech you mentioned how you guys all adore Mr. Besser. Let me tell you how annoying that kid is. When I was a senior, he would run around and smack us in the back and then make us try to catch him. He had a death wish, and he thought he could outrun everybody, but it was wrong. He couldn't outrun everybody, but most people he did. All right. I think before we begin, I should address the elephant in the room. I may have dated one of your mothers in high school. All right? Now that I have that off my chest, we can begin. Now, as you graduates sit there for the next hour of this speech, uncomfortably trying to figure out whose mom it is, I'm going to get started. I can't believe how surreal it feels to be back here at Ogilvie High School. I want to thank this year's graduating class for selecting me as this year's alumni recipient. I promise to try to make this the shortest hour of your life. I am honored to be here and truly thankful, and thank you to Mike Pitts, who was my basketball coach when I was in high school, for nominating me. We've reached the part of tonight's program where the school brings back a past graduate in one last-ditch effort to hopefully talk some sense into you before you go off and navigate this crazy world we live in. When I came to Ogilvie in January of 1992, I came from a city school. And my wardrobe, I kid you not, consisted of nothing but Zubas. If you guys don't know what that is, you might have to Google it. This was my wardrobe. This is what I knew at the time to be cool. So the day I came to Mr. Gerber's 6th grade class, I was feeling good. I had my best pair of Zubas on. I thought to myself, I'm money, baby. When the door to Mr. Gerber's class opened up and I walked in to see nothing but t-shirts, flannel, jeans, I knew I was in a completely different environment. I wasn't in Kansas anymore. And my thought instantly went to, well, 12 years old, I've had a good run. This is as good as any place to die. I couldn't have been more wrong. I was greeted with open arms. Everyone was very polite, and the very first question I was asked, do you play football? I'm glad I answered that question right. I would learn fast that football was a religion around here. We would play against the other class on the basketball courts where the current bank now sits. All of these guys would become great friends and guys I would come to rely on through my many years to come. It was like family, and I really felt I had found the greatest school ever. Up to this point, this would have been my 7th school I had attended. I remember my mom asking me that week how I liked the new school, and I told her it was great. I said, first of all, I need one pair of jeans. I'll wear it every day. I don't care. If it has to be with the same pair of underwear, I'll wear it every single day. The first was, the reason I loved it was I made so many friends very, very quickly. And the second is I came here as a 12-year-old boy, interested in girls, and I wasn't related to anybody.
We're all related.
That's when I met your mom. I would go on to participate in many extracurricular activities like playing on the football and basketball team, running track, singing in choir, learning mad jazz squares during show choir, to singing as Conrad Birdie and Bye Bye Birdie. Participating in all of these things taught me many valuable lessons. However, there are two lessons I learned that I have carried with me all these years. The first is, I never forgot where I came from. My friends never let me think I was someone bigger than someone else. To this day, they will text me and put me in my place. I got a text from a classmate the day I was on Good Morning America, and it said, and I quote, "I saw you on Good Morning America this morning. So cool. Ginger C, it's hot, but you're still ugly." Thanks. This made me laugh because, believe it or not, my friends ripping on me actually prepared me well for becoming a meteorologist. Being in the public eye and a meteorologist on top of it, you can say I've been called every foul thing you can possibly imagine. Through email, social media, and in person. I laugh it off. There's nothing I haven't heard that I have not already heard from my friends in the past. The relationships I gained here really did help me prepare me for my career as a meteorologist. So remember where you come from. Be humble and believe in yourself. The second lesson I got that I remember is probably my most valuable lesson came from the lady who's on the board right here on the wall next to the lion. It was the Great River Conference track meet, and our 4x1 100-meter relay team was a part of the field, and we were destroying the rest of the field. We were way ahead. That's when the guy who ran third leg had one of the worst handoffs in the history of man. He waited too long to tell me to go and wound up running into me, causing me to fall. Luckily, we had a good enough lead that I was able to get up, and we still wound up taking second. Or did we? You see, I was so mad by the exchange that at the end of the race, I threw the baton at the end of the race out of frustration. I thought we'd let one slip by. Out of nowhere, I hear, "Lions!" And I see all 4'11" Miss Brennan sprinting at me. I can only assume she was sprinting because she made up a great distance in a short amount of time. She probably should have been running anchor way. This was the second time I thought I was going to die in Ogilvie Public Schools. She grabbed me by the arm, yanked me down, and yelled at me and said, "Are you crazy? You just cost the team points because you got the team disqualified. What were you thinking?" I need everybody to know that was a PG version that I just said. Right? A couple of weeks later, as I'm walking through the hallway, she pulls me aside and hands me the baton I threw. 2 weeks later, she says, "I want you to have this." I said, "What for?" She says, "The next time you ever think about letting your emotion dictate an outcome before thinking about who it might impact, I want you to think of me running behind you, ready to shove this so far up your..."
That's Deb. Yeah, that's her.
I never forgot that exchange. It taught me to remember to be calm, be patient, and believe in the process and the lesson to be learned. As a chief meteorologist on a TV station, my career has allowed me to do some pretty exciting things. Things like getting to interview Sean Astin. If you're not familiar with who he is the actor that plays Rudy or Samwise Gamgee on Lord of the Rings. I've been able to be on the Vikings football field with Adrian Peterson and shake his hand, as well as with Stephon Diggs and Odell Beckham Jr. as they exchanged jerseys. I forecasted the weather for country music singer Brett Eldridge as he traveled across the country doing concerts. And my favorite was personally being called out on live TV by Minnesota Twins great Kent Herbeck. He knew my name. He runs a fishing tournament up north to raise money for ALS and told me to make the weather nice for the day as our sports anchor interviewed him. But with these fun and exciting encounters, I never forgot to give back or pay it forward. I've trained many meteorologists who have gone on to do great things. I've worked with the Muscular Dystrophy Association, the Northland Newborn Foundation, whose primary goal is raising awareness and getting money for premature babies. And I work with the Kenny Courage Rehabilitation Institute, whose objective is getting people with handicaps playing sports, because we all know how important sports and extracurricular activities made us feel. Let the lessons you learned right here at this school guide you. This is where I get to tell the graduating class about the real world, what is really out there. So here it goes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The last year has been nothing but short of difficult, especially for your seniors. You guys had to deal with a global pandemic unlike anything the world has experienced together since maybe World War II. Many people believe the kids that went off to the war during World War II are the greatest generation of them all. That generation, all those years ago, had to put aside their own wants and desires to do what was right for the world. This class was asked to do the same thing. Like the greatest generation, you too had to adapt to a continuously changing environment, never fully understanding or knowing what the outcome might be. You were told to drop everything you knew, selflessly stand up for millions of people you didn't know, and turn your way of life upside down. The greatest generation didn't plan on fighting to save the world when they were young men and women, but they did. And just like them, you didn't want this global pandemic to happen, but it happened. And you fought and you adapted. So I extend a challenge to this year's graduating class: stand up and be known as the newest great generation. You see, the reason I feel we are in good hands in years to come is because of this year's graduating class. I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic. Life isn't about wealth, power, or one person's success versus another person's success. Success is relative, and it's all based on the individual person. Not everybody has the same success. What is successful to me is not the same success to you. It's just not. What life is, in my opinion, and why I feel this class is part of the next generation, is this. And Rocky Balboa said it best. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's very mean and a nasty place, and it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. About how much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Just like the greatest generation who was beat down and hit hard and kept moving forward until they won, this class has done the same damn thing. In 1 year, you've experienced a hit to the gut that would drop many to their knees, but not you. You adapted, you moved forward, and you persevered. Congratulations, class of 2021. I have no doubt you will do great things. Thank you.
Preston, it is my great pleasure to present you with the 2021 Alumni Award plaque, and it's in appreciation of your faithful service to the students, parents, and of Ogilvie Public Schools. Thank you very much. It's our pleasure. And at this time, we're going to be having a special number by our Ogilvie High School choir. The number that they're singing for us tonight also was shared at the spring concert, and it is entitled, "I'm Still Your Dreamer."
It is my pleasure to introduce the class of 2021 valedictorian, Cutter Wallace.
Good evening. It is an honor to be standing up here tonight, especially after graduating college a few weeks ago. I'd like to begin by acknowledging some of the people who got me up on the stage tonight. I'd like to thank my parents for pushing and encouraging me to try new things, even when I was opposed to it. I'd like to thank my counselors and advisors for guiding me through the PSEO process and showing me that college isn't as intimidating as I thought it was. I'd like to thank my families and friends for supporting me, especially while I sat at home for 2 years and worked towards my associate's degree. And finally, I'd like to give a big special thanks to everyone who pronounces my name correctly, unlike every substitute teacher I've had since kindergarten. Despite the pandemic, we've accomplished so much throughout our time in high school. Just this year, we've had wonderful concerts, school play, and a great wrestling season. We also learned a lesson about making milkshakes in the school bathroom. Apparently, it's not only unsanitary, but also a violation of school policy.
Thanks, Cordell.
On a more serious note, several students have been taking college classes through PSEO, and their hard work should really be commended. It isn't easy taking college classes in high school, even if it's only part-time. Although I haven't been at school much these last couple of years, I still think everything we've achieved so far is amazing. This class is full of brilliant, creative, and talented people who will find success in whatever goals they pursue. It's hard to imagine that some of us have been here for over a decade. In fact, I've known many of my fellow graduates since kindergarten. However, after so many years of roaming these halls and sitting in those classrooms, it's finally time for us to move on with our lives into something greater. Some of us will spend the next few years working towards a higher education and starting the next leg of our educational journey. Others will jump straight into the workforce with the talents and passions they developed throughout high school. Regardless, I know my fellow graduates and I have the skills and know-how to be successful, no matter what paths we take. As much as I would like to keep congratulating and reminiscing, I've been told to keep my speech short. After all, I consider myself a man of few words. That is, unless I'm writing a college essay, then I consider myself a man of 500 to 1,000 words. Before I go, I'd like to leave you all with a bit of wisdom from Michael Josephson. Take pride in how far you've come, have faith in how far you can go, but don't forget to enjoy the journey. Thank you all for listening, and congratulations to my fellow graduates.
You have no idea how many appliances and now critters from tonight that have been confiscated and put in my office this year. So, with that, it is my great pleasure to give you the class of 2021 to say, by the power vested in me by the Board of Education of District 333, Ogilvie, Minnesota, I hereby certify for graduation these members of the class of 2021. And that they have successfully passed and completed all the requirements for graduation as set forth by the state of Minnesota and the Board of Education of District 333. I proudly present to you the class of 2021.
Showtime.
Terrence Allen Stephen Wallace. Hazel Jo Irene Lyman. Brooke Montana Bell. Callie Anna Rose Bowerman. Emily Ann Brown. Cody Allen Bullock. Bo Culver Burke. Joshua Caleb Coral. Cassandra Josephine DeVito. Emily Ann Gay. Brady Leroy James Harlan. Wyatt James Hines. Kira Tatiana Hoffman. Kaylee Ann Humphrey. Caleb Randy Johnson. Mitchell Adam Clare. Katie Marie Kunst. Riley William Lambert. Devin Kennedy Aaron Matkins. Gavin Michael McClevis. Rachel Lee Mullen. Dylan Sean Nelson. Aiden Daniel Peterson. Logan Timothy Peterson. Alora Lily Pratt. Olivia Jane Sanborn. Madison Elizabeth Sodergren. Benjamin Michael Studhoff. Colton Russell Stuckey. Ethan Alexander Tillman. Dylan Alex Underdog.
What's he gonna do?
Huh?
What's up your sleeve?
Haley Lynn Utek. Cordell Fisher Vogel. Ethan Sterling Warren. Will the graduating class please rise? You may change your tassels if you haven't done so already. And I have the pleasure to present to you the Ogilvie High School class of 2021.
I got the pen. I don't know. Mine was good.